Welcome to another video. So today's video we're going to check out the timing of some of these altcoins. Now they have been rallying recently in the last week or so, and you can see the fear and greed. People are getting very greedy at this time, and the indicator now showing greed very close to extreme greed. And is this the start of the altcoin season, or do we still have some time to go? Many influencers are now coming back, shouting from the hilltops, telling you that now is the time. Many people think that it's up only from now, but let's look at the data, let's look at the charts and see what they're telling us. So we're going to look at the total market caps, excluding BTC. This is excluding BTC and the stable coins. The stable coins aren't an altcoin, they're just shows us money on the sidelines. So here we've got total 2, and what we've got on the chart here is we've got from the high to the breakout point. Now the breakout point is the green line over here. This is the first area that found resistance. Markets like to form these rounded bottoms, or some would say a double bottom, or I personally call them W's. As you can see, if you put on the line chart, this is a clear W symbol on the alphabet, right? W is only valid once the second V of the W is higher than the previous one. So there's your first V, there's your second V, and that is the breakout. This area here is called the sign of strength, or some people will call it a retest, which is very important for the market to all agree that this is an area that has found support, and then the market generally rallies. So on this chart, we can see from the high to the final breakout point. Now the candle closed there, but we struggled to get above the breakout level, which is generally what you will see. Then you finally get a massive breakout candle, and that tells us it's been 34 bars from the top to the breakout level. By then it's practically a little bit too late, so we'll see what the chart tells us about these data points. Where we are currently at, we are about 24 bars into this cycle. Now we can see the same story here. Now here's a few more bottoms as we go up, we go down, we go up again, and then we break out. But still the same logic applies. You get your low, you get a higher high, you get a low, and then you hope for another higher high and retest there. Now this week still has a few days left to close, or well, this is the monthly chart, and each candle represents a month. So still a few days left, or 16 days left for this candle to close, and we can already see the last time I looked at this, we had a breakout, but we've now been rejected by this bar as Bitcoin has been pulling that back, and we can see some starting to get single-digit pullbacks on some of these coins that have ran really hard recently. You can see on the weekly here the gains, and now on the daily they're starting to pull back. It's sorted by the highest losses, so you can see all of these that really did well are starting to pull back. This doesn't mean it's their top necessarily, but there is some weakness in the chart, and this is only off the back of a 1 to 2% pullback from Bitcoin. And you guys know that I've been saying in my past few videos, I think it's time for a little bit of a correction. Not only that, by these data points, we can see that we are still quite very early in the cycle. We've formed our nice rounded bottoms. We are moving sideways in this area, but we are finally trying to break out, which is positive, right? We need to get above these areas and retest them and show that there is strength in this market and that the buyers want to defend their purchases down here. So if we go by what we see here in the previous cycle, we can see the massive breakout happen only in September of next year. It doesn't mean there won't be opportunities. In fact, this is now where we should be looking for these altcoins. And those that showed strength with recent rallies, we should pull up our retracement tools and try and get into them, as the market has shown us that those are interesting coins that we should be taking a look at. Now the total 2, which includes Ethereum, which moves a little bit slower, and it's a third cycle coin, so we would expect it to move a lot slower. We can expect a little bit more time spent below these areas or in this area, even flirting with the breakout point. I would really like to see a retracement and then retest it again, and then we can finally break out. So with this, we need 34 bars if we go off the data point that we had last cycle. So this is total 2. It is lagging behind the others. So let's look at total 3. This is the total market cap excluding BTC, ETH, and stablecoins. So your top market cap coins without Ethereum. And if we look at the previous cycle over here, we can see from the top all the way to that massive breakout point again. We tested the breakout level at 31 bars. We're already testing it now with only 24 bars that have passed. So very early, in fact, and a strong rejection at this level now. Already yesterday when I looked at it, we were above this level. So there's about 23 billion that has left the market in the last day or two, right? So a lot of profit taking happening. This is why you do not chase green candles. And when all of the influencers are telling you that it's alt season and the altcoins are back, so that's generally the time to take a step back and reflect that maybe it's a little bit overheated here. So if we would see the same, now we've already had this test. Now we would have to see if this candle closes above this breakout point, but by now I highly doubt that this will happen. If we move this all the way to 31 bars, that would be in June for the first time we retested this level in the previous cycle. So if we were to move it all the way to the breakout point, that's 34 bars, the same as the previous chart. That would take us once again all the way to October for the first real strength candle. By then it would obviously be too late, because you can see this is quite a violent candle back here, and that is the end of the accumulation zone. We're still below the all-time highs, but cheap prices have left the station by then. So by then you would probably be too late, and many of the altcoins would already have run very hard. So this was in fact in September. I don't know why I said October, but 34 bars. So this is well past the halvening, right? So if we go ahead and take a look at others is the total market cap of the coins below the top 20. Here we can see we have a strong breakout, in fact, on this chart. You can see the accumulation phase down here, the breakout level, and we're above it now. So the trend has changed. This is a higher low, although there's a significant retracement here. So what can we see here? I would not be surprised if we see just a trending market all the way until this time runs out. We can see here the 24th bar where we're exactly at now was also a test of this trend line. Now, for us to reject at this trend line here, that would be very bearish and get below. That would take us a lot more time. So it's fine that we broke out here. Let's just move sideways on this trend line or the breakout level for a while before breaking higher. Let's see where we finally had a candle break 30 bars in. Now we already have that 30 bar breakout over here. And then the next candle, which was the 31st bar, actually confirmed that breakout and broke higher. So this chart is a little bit of an anomaly, but could that be telling us that the market is in fact pricing in the altcoin season a little bit earlier, as trends can change, right? And not only that, the market is finding the altcoins a lot more alluring than something like Bitcoin or Ethereum, because these are the top coins below the top 10. So another chart we can take a look at is Ethereum, because Ethereum is the mother of all the altcoins. And we can see that Ethereum finally broke out of its accumulation zone, breaking out 31 bars, but really actually just started taking off 34 bars into the cycle. Where are we now? We are only 24 bars into the cycle. So for us to have a nice breakout candle, that would take us all the way to September. So we can see that all of these charts, if we look at the previous cycle, is showing that maybe September would be the month to really expect a massive breakout and euphoria to really get into this market. We are still in the accumulation zone, and we can see Ethereum really hasn't broken out of its breakout. It's just retested it and been rejected. So it's going to take a while for this to break out here. So we can move sideways here, break higher, and then retest, and off we go. So it's probably going to be a little bit boring all the way to the halvening. But these altcoins have now popped, and it's time to pull up our retracement tools and try and get into these coins. I have been starting to nibble on some altcoins, putting in my limit orders to buy them at their 61% retracement. You can check out that live stream. It's a boring grind, but this is where the work should be put in to get ready for the altcoin season in the future. So do not get too euphoric. I know everybody and their mother are going to tell you that the altcoin season is here, the bull market is here, though the bull market has already started since the lows. That's how I interpreted the bull market. Because by here, this market has already been uptrending for more than a year. So, thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something. Remember to always play from a position of strength and do not get wrecked. Thank you and goodbye.